That's why you can't fucking make that noise. I'm gonna vomit.
Oh,
it's so gross. I'm actually like physically uncomfortable from it. Blech.
yeah. Got something else that'll make you feel physically uncomfortable.
Take the dogs. Get the fuck out.
Whoa. The fuck just happened? Hey, can we have a spit cup?
How are you grossed out by that? Your whole life has been spit cup for the last week.
Yo, give me spit cup. I thought you were my assistant. I need a straw.
Can you get the fuck out? That's so jokes.
Bootsing, cats and bootsing.
So how was your week there, kid?
It's good. It was slow at work.
Yeah, we had kind of a shit week for work, eh? Fucking blech.
Well,
it's getting there, though.
Well, I mean, we're getting the little things done that we don't want to do.
Attention to detail, huge.
No, but like the basement shit and like...
Oh, shit that you'd never want to get done, but you have to eventually.
We get done no matter what, but I'd rather have like... It's almost like you want to refresh your mind instead of just doing stupid little bullshit for so long, you know what I mean? Going to do fun stuff like go tile the bathroom. Or
yeah. I think one of the things is like anytime you're doing anything, you want to see results. Like you want to see actual change.
Yeah.
And when you don't, it's hard to kind of keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And keep moving, right? Which is kind of tough. Did you just kick a ball at my feet?
Absolutely.
Nice. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? It's like that with anything. It's the same thing with like, it's the same thing when you go to the gym or when you train or when you take care of yourself or when like whatever it is, you get the same kind of. It's that exact same thing. It's like if you don't get results or you don't see results, a lot of times people have trouble sticking with it or wanting to be there. You know what I mean? It's kind of one of those.
No, for sure.
Honestly, I think that's one of the biggest things. Like when you forget work for a second, just talk like with physical fitness. People make such a fucking excuse about that alone, where it's like they don't see a change after a day. It's like, well, I went to the gym. Where are my results? Ate a salad. I fucking nailed this. No, you didn't.
Guy, I got no cheese on my burger.
It's consistency.
Why?
Yeah, it's like I'll have all of that and the Diet Coke,
overweight?
bro. Guy, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's... Well, fuck, bro.
Consistency.
I do it all the
Consistency
time.
is the biggest thing.
Like, you see yourself getting a little bit of good shape, you're like, fuck it. I'll eat a pizza.
Well, you know what the problem is? I think one of the biggest issues people have, pardon me, is that they have the wrong association with food. They use it as a reward. People think of food as a reward, and also when people are depressed or down, they use food as like as a comfort. Yeah, and that's it's. I think people have sort of a bad mental balance with food, which is what creates a lot of problems. Yeah, there you go.
I'm fucked. So yesterday was epically. I had a big cheat day. I hurt my back. Like
I hurt my back.
I hurt my back. Oh wow. So Russ Peters for you. Yeah, did some. I just tweaked it a little bit. So I've been taking days off, just let it rest.
Yeah.
And then the Russian princess came home, so me and her just kind of...
Kurvats. I think that means vagina in like...
Svetlana vagina.
I'm pretty sure
that
means...
No, that's from a lot of vagina.
Yeah, no, I'm actually pretty sure in Serbian that means vagina, but we'll check this later.
She's not
We'll
Serbian, so that's perfect.
I understand, why. But I know some people that are Serbian, and
so
I say
why did you... So you're
Kurvats.
Yeah, why did you do that?
I think it happened subliminally, and I just ended up...
Subliminally?
Yeah, in the... You did make up a word?
Oh,
Who?
what?
Yeah, it was like festizio. See, I can make up words too. Subliminally. Looks to me like I put it in quotations like it's not real. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I just kind of... It was a bad day. Yesterday was... Like, I don't know. Hopefully, you don't get a whiff of whatever I'm serving today because I had Big Mac, I had a McFlurry, I had 2 pizzas.
You know what? I ate like shit yesterday too. I had a half a pizza with Dad. Then I had ordered. Then Meg's like, "Oh, I want McDonald's because she's all sick. She's not feeling well." Another bad thing is they associate food like I'm not feeling well. I'll eat like shit. So I had to get her McDonald's.
The opposite, yeah.
Yeah. So I obviously got myself 10 nuggets. So, like, in like an hour and a half, I ate half of a large pizza.
You're a nugget boy?
You know what? I wanted protein.
You're a nugget boy.
I wanted protein.
Why don't you get a chicken, like, grilled chicken wrap?
Because then you're talking about the carbs, and I just ate a fucking pizza. What do you mean?
Those are deep-fried, mulched up chicken.
It was, for me, it was the best of the worst. I was like, this is a terrible situation. How can I make this okay? I think, you know...
You did not succeed.
No, it was terrible. The thing is, I think it's important that people have an opportunity to have cheat meals and eat like this or eat whatever, and I think it's okay, especially when you're in like social settings. I don't think you should be as strict. Like, I've done a lot of competing in physical fitness, and I don't think you should live a life that's stringent because it fucks your head up. It was hard for me. Like, I competed. I still do, but I mean, I did a lot of shows. I did like 10 shows in like 9 or 10 months, and that was way, way too much, but I didn't have a knowledge to know what to do. as far as show consistency. So the problem was the fallout. It took me 6 months to get my head back together where I didn't feel guilty about food. But I realized, because I've talked to some people that have a decent amount of weight on them, they have the same feeling just in regular life because they're bigger.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of times people, it's an interesting psychological barrier around it. I think people lack a certain amount of self-control. And I think one of the things is they lack knowledge of just kind of what to do or how it works or how to get there. And a lot of times people get stuck. I think they feel they associate with the fact that, well, I'm just big, or I can't be big and strong. These are things I can't do. So they associate with it, and then that's their excuse. They just stick with it. It's like, well, I'm intelligent, or I do this and this and that, so I've got these other skills. It's like, hey, look, I'm not telling everybody out there they need to be, Mr. Olympia, but going to the gym and eating better and taking better care of yourself, like that's like number one for longevity. You know what I mean? That's what do you mean?
Well, it depends, honestly. It depends what your goals are. You can't push it on people. They don't want to do it.
I don't think you should push it on people, but I think that there's too many people making excuses. Don't get me wrong. Like, dads out there, our dad, he trains. He still works out a few times a week, and he's in his 60s. He eats like shit, but he doesn't care. He's like, I don't care. I'd rather enjoy my food. I don't give a fuck. But he's not making an excuse. He's not getting the results. He's not refusing results for an excuse. And
He's more longevity. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. He doesn't really. He's not gonna try and look like us.
No,
he's not. It's just not his goal. It's
no, it never has been though. His was always, I want to get big, but he still reached his goals even though he kind of eats like shit.
I mean, he looks good for for an old guy.
No, I think so too.
Hope you're listening, pops.
But
you
I think
good, man.
I think one of the big
sharp. Looking sharp.
Audio cocksuck.
What? That's incest and gay. I'm good. I'm just
So
neither.
bad.
So I just thought it'd be really weird to
Yeah.
push that. Yeah. No, like, I mean, there's different goals for people too. Like, me and you, we want to get fucking strong. We want to get in good shape.
Yeah.
Some people just want to, like, longevity, right? Like, if you just do... Elena had a class with a professor last year, and there was a study done that basically said it doesn't matter about the intensity. If you just want to, like, cardiovascular disease, if you want to just, like, cut you down your chances of that, it doesn't have to be, like, intense workouts. You can just do, like, 30 minutes a day of, like, brisk walking. It doesn't even have to be that intense.
No.
And it's been proven that helps just as much as high intensity for your
longevity.
For your longevity.
For sure.
So, I mean, it depends. If your goals are muscular development and strength, it's a whole different game. So, I mean...
Well, right. But I think that's one of the biggest excuses people make. They're like, well, I don't like the gym, so I'm not going to go to the gym. I don't
have to like the gym.
Yeah, but it's just a crutch. It's like, well, I don't like the gym. Well, so don't. You know how many different ways there are to work out?
Go play fucking tennis.
Yeah, that's a big thing. Is it's like there's so many other things you can do.
Go chase buses.
Yeah, I mean, probably don't for longevity purposes, but I mean, do your thing.
You won't get hit, but I'm saying just for goals.
Nutrition.
Eventually, you'll catch that bus.
You know what? That's one of those. I think a lot of people just need to get out there and do something and not make an excuse for, I can't go to the gym. Don't go to the gym. Play sports. Go for a run. Go swim. Go for a brisk walk. There are so many things. Climb a tree.
Fuck it.
Be 8 years old again.
Yeah. Do it live.
Nice.
All right.
No age.
Yeah, you know what? Like,
do yoga. Go dance. Go fight someone or something. Maybe don't fight someone.
Depends though. If they're smaller, fucking do it. I believe in you.
Pick your battles. Don't let your battles pick you.
You know what I mean? I'd suggest, like, it's just females. They're just sometimes they just don't see it coming too. Like, watch out for the mace. It's a stinger.
You know what I saw the other day? Because women like to go running, and Meg says a lot of women feel like they're going to be attacked, or they have this fear of being attacked. And I get
enough.
it.
Fuck.
So there's this thing that came out, and it's like a big dagger that goes on your hand as a ring that you wear.
Oh, nice.
And you can just impale somebody.
Well,
with
it's like
it
really
quick.
serrated too.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
I've seen
Nasty.
that. Well, I mean, it's good though. Like, if you can't feel safe, like, that's fucked. Then you have another excuse not to go out. I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
It's not an excuse in a sense. It's kind of like fear. But I mean, if they, like,
fear's an excuse.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, but I think sometimes it's like that's like a justified not excuse, a justified reason sometimes.
Sure, not to go running at night.
Yeah,
Got it.
like
Doesn't mean you can't go train. And
that's
take care
fair.
of
No,
yourself,
but I'm saying, like, yeah, I'm like, carry some fucking mace, carry that fucking
dude,
finger dagger, bro.
Bear mace. Have you ever seen bear mace? It
Yeah,
comes in
I
a
put
big.
it on my scrambled eggs.
Comes in a big old can, and it shoots like 30 feet.
Yeah, because it's a bear. You don't have to be like.
That's fair.
Oh, it's got a 4-foot spray. You
Gotta get right up close.
You got to sneak up on the bear and then attack him.
Yeah. Anyway, I think one of the other things too is if people can wrap their heads around not just having to go to the gym to stay out. There's 100 ways to work out. You know, there's no excuse. Like, you don't have to go do Olympic lifting. In fact, I don't suggest it unless you know what you're doing. Like, don't do CrossFit full out unless you know what you're doing. That shit
you
can be
hurt
dangerous.
yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
And then you can't do anything for so long. So
right,
you're injured.
like I like the culture behind CrossFit, but and it's been a little while since I've paid attention, so they may have increased but I found that they were not giving people the right tools to be doing those right kind of movements. It's like, go as hard as you can all the time and do these crazy lifts. It's like, whoa, holy shit.
Form is more important.
Yeah, huge. But I think one of the other big things is people don't make time. People, and that's one of the biggest excuses for me in the world. People are like, I don't have time.
They don't have
time.
time.
No. You're not prioritizing it. You know what? There's so many ways to make time to eat better and to train. And it doesn't take long. Like you said, 30 minutes in a day.
If you take an hour every day, it's less than 5% of your day. Less than 5% of your day. An hour. You can just do less than that. You can do, a half hour a day. It makes the biggest difference.
Even if you go like half hour for training, half hour for making the right kind of food or making those right decisions, like that's
5%, bro.
And the thing is, you can make up the time.
Yeah.
You can be like, get up earlier. Well, I need to sleep. Well, you know what? If you start getting up earlier and going to the gym and training, your hormone levels are going to be in a lot better place. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna be happier. You don't need as much sleep. Getting your 8 hours is great, but getting like 9 or 10, you just don't need it.
It puts you in a better mood, really. Honestly, like
100%.
I find like when I go to the gym and I'm like fucking yelling at people and I'm like and I'm like, I get it though, and I'm like, I think about it. Oh, you didn't go to the gym. It really just it's like an endorphin rush. It's like it's a healthy drug. It gets addictive.
Hundo. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, I understand. But if you do, and you're just worried about getting to the gym, just fucking get there. And then once you get there, you're motivated to get it done. And then as soon as you leave, you're like fucking 100% better.
Yeah, it's so interesting how we can actually flip your mood. And what I notice for me is sometimes I'll have to take breaks from the gym, which I hate, but it'll happen. So when I'm doing like the restaurant stuff, if you get caught up for a couple of months and you have to be there 15, 16 hours a day, your time is more valuably spent there because it's like it's okay, but you don't realize how slowly over time your hormones and you get more anxious, you get moodier, you get snappy at people. You're not as happy, and it just sort of fades. And because it's gradual, you don't notice. But as soon as you go back to the gym or do something physical like that, you're like, holy shit, I've been missing out.
Champion.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
Making time. I think one of the big things people can stop doing is making an excuse for not having time. Prioritize it. What I don't understand is people are so reactive instead of proactive. You want to start worrying about your health and fitness when it's a fucking problem? No, you don't. You get an oil change every 5 to 10,000 kilometers. You don't get it after 25 when your engine blows up. What are you doing?
No, it's fair. I mean, just people don't like it. They'll bash it too. Like, fuck, why am I going to the gym, man?
Well, people love to put other people down if they're doing something that they don't have time for or don't associate with or whatever. I think,
But don't get me wrong though, like it's just not for everybody. If you just want to eat healthy and fucking, you know what? Like if you have a long day or like a strenuous job, just eat healthy. Or do none of this. This is just like, I think it's for people that want to be in better shape or want to be healthier. It's really not that hard. It's honestly, it's just about making the change. Like it's like it takes nothing out of your day.
No, I agree. The thing is, it just takes a small adjustment. It takes a small adjustment in your schedule. That's it. Exactly. Yeah. Mentally, it's like you struggle with anything. You struggle with it for a couple of weeks, and then you have a new routine. Then you make time for it. And I don't know. I just for me that's just such a terrible excuse. I think one of the other things people get into is when it comes to both eating and training is I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money to afford a trainer. I don't have enough money to join this gym or do whatever. Like I pay $20 a month to go to the gym.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
that's fuck all.
Yeah, and also it's the food though as well.
Yeah, I mean, yes,
I've done with less.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can get large. You can get chicken. You can get wholesale chicken. You can get rice. You can eat the right things at a low cost. Like a bag of apples is the same price as a cheeseburger at McDonald's. Close.
It's just convenience for people too. That's why so much fast food is eaten because fucking I don't blame anybody. Like meal prep is like I fucking hate it. Especially if you do work a long day and you go and like, okay, cool, I want to cook for an hour before I even eat my dinner.
No, I understand.
Because you're going to cook for the next like lunch and the next night. It's like.
But that's the thing is I think if you start, you can pile in and you can do meal prep or not. Just make healthier decisions about it.
Or listen to a podcast while you're making your dinner.
Nice.
That's what I find I actually do. And it keeps my mind just off of how boring it is just to make dinner.
Well, one of the things I kind of want to touch on is I don't think a lack of funds is a good excuse because at the turn of this year, before Megan and I joined back, well, I think Megan was there. I joined back at PCA. I was training in my house with 15-pound weights, like a rubber band, a chin-up bar. Like I was training for $0, no money. A bag of rice costs next to nothing. Like these things, like there's just not it's not a viable excuse. I mean, people can make it and use it all the time. Anything they want. Money's such a crazy excuse for everything. Everything fucking nuts.
Well, you can always make it work. I mean, like 50, damn, do 15. So those, you can make them work. Some lunges, jumping lunges with 15. Do some curls.
Yeah, you'll puke. Do 20 jumping lunges with 15-pound dumbbells in your hand, and you will yak your nuts out. Guaranteed.
Yak your nuts out. No, yeah, man.
That gotta come out funny.
Yeah, but like even with plyometrics, if you have no weights or anything, you can do so much with just your body weight. Body weight and gravity, you can get fucking so strong and endurance so good.
100%.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And there's things like P90X, which you used to have to pay for, but if you're fucking smart enough, you can go online now, figure it out. You can find all the videos.
100%. Yeah, no, I have them on my computer. And I did them soon, like my first day back after New Year, I did it, and I was white as a ghost. My central nervous system was like, fuck you.
Yeah, no, I was not. Me and you both. We had a rough holiday.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
that was, ooh.
You were an
I didn't party too much. I just turned into an Egg McMuffin.
I looked like the guy from fucking, what's it? Ghostbusters.
Noige.
The Marshmallow Man.
Michelin Man. Sort of. You're definitely not the Michelin Man, but he looked like him.
I think he was made out of marshmallows.
He was definitely made out of marshmallows.
Which makes sense because it's because he's full of sweets.
I'm not sure how that ties together.
He's a fat boy.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right.
Mm.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Shit, baby.
What's that?
Yeah, no. So yeah, yesterday was fucked up. Like, I've been out of it for a couple days now, and the thing is, that's the hardest. When you're on a good track, like when I'm on a good track personally, and then I have like a bad day, maybe smoke a little weed and eat all the food, then it's so hard to actually like get yourself back into it because you're like, oh, I broke the streak, you're just kind of getting out. It's nicer when you go every other day or you have your set rest days.
Of course.
But now it's been 2 days off in a row for me, and I just ate a bunch of food, and now I'm like, tonight's the Super Bowl.
You know what though? I think
it's
that's
gonna be
another
bad.
thing people need to let go. It's like, well, if it's not health and fitness is not all or nothing. You know, it's like if you miss a couple days, just get back on it. Like what's
hard. It's hard,
it is. But the thing is, I think a lot of times people have the mental, like they create a psychological barrier saying, well, I fucked it up then. I'm just not going to go anymore.
I'm the biggest. No, I'm the biggest. I do that all the time. Like it's not. It never stops. Like it gets easier, like to convince yourself to go back. But I mean, I used to do it so much where I'm like, oh fuck, well, I'm just gonna start in a couple days then.
Well, it's just not realistic that like. Physical fitness is like every week. If you go train 4 or 5 days like we do, then we don't for 2. It's 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. And that's just sort of the nature of health and fitness. Like I've changed the shape of my body 100 times just based on whatever your goals are.
Yeah,
it's always going to change. You're not stuck where you are because of something like that. I don't know. I think one of the big things is people just need to be realistic with the fact that it's an ongoing challenge and an ongoing for the rest of your life. It's something you're gonna have to take care of.
It's a fucking pain in the ass, but you love it. That's
exactly
the way I look at it. Like sometimes you love going to the gym. Sometimes you're like, this is gonna be epic, and then sometimes you're like,
I love that.
Well, fuck! I just want to sit on the couch and watch TV. And like some days, those are the hardest days to go. But if you go those days,
you get the most out of them.
Always.
It's like anything though. When you have a day where you struggle and you push through and you get as much as you can done, it like just it strengthens your resolve in so many ways.
Yeah.
It's just a good overall lesson in general.
Yeah. No, for sure. And that's where people like make differences. Like that's when you see the changes when you actually go those days you do not want to go. It's easy to go on the days you want to go. Like that's not the hard part. But like once a week or once every 2 weeks or once a month, you're gonna be like, fuck.
Well, that's just stupid. Like for me, in my opinion, if you've got a fitness goal and you want to improve your life in any way, shape, or form, you have to have some sort of plan.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lack of knowledge of your body and mind are probably 2 of the biggest things that people don't. A lot of times people, they think genetics and they don't understand their hormones. They don't understand how their body works or what's going on. And everybody's is different. And I think too often people are glorified for being in such great condition that a lot of other people don't think that there's any option for them. Like, again, it's black or white. No, there's a huge gray area. There's just so much. There's so much that, like, I'm actually working with 2 people right now for my body and I'm in decent shape. You know what I mean? Like I'm working with Kyle for like functional movement and Kirsten for like physio for my shoulder.
Oh yeah. How's that going?
It's okay. They're kind of both working in. It's good. They're both working in unison. They're both like young, open-minded people that really know a lot about what they're doing. They're really great at what they do. So like they're almost like, okay, what's this person helping you through, and what are they thinking? What's the diagnosis, and how, you know what I mean? Versus being like, oh no, do it this way or do it that way. It's working together and it's going well.
You're working with both of them just for your shoulder.
Well, no, I'm working with Kyle more for functional movement. What I found is that over time, I had become hardened in some bad habits with lifting.
Yeah.
So I've got a decent amount of strength in my back, so I put a lot of pressure on that, and which tightened up my hamstrings, which then my glutes weren't firing. It's a lot of weird stuff.
The foot bone's connected to the knee bone.
That's basically it.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a. If you're too strong in one area, I find like you're right. Like that's why I've had injuries too.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. You just take over. Like when you're trying to do really heavy weights, you're like, fuck this, not doing chest, I'm doing shoulders now, bitch.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I was working with Kyle the other day, and he reworked my my deadlift form, and I was like, oh, I'm doing it fine. Like I can hammer out these 4 plates or whatever. He's like, if you can do 4 plates like that, change your form, work on these things. He's like, you'll be able to crush 5, no trouble. I'm like, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy, Jesus.
Yeah. So I hurt my back already. I'm like, fuck. It's feeling better now. Actually, no. Like last 2 days were bad. I woke up today. I'm like, I could deal with one more day off, and I'm going to because I'm going to go do all you can drink and all you can eat at Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm
so upset. I'm so scared. I don't want to either, but it's like I've ticket I've bought, and now all the boys are going.
Oh no, you'll have a blast. It'll be so much fun. I just can't even, like, for me, like, I live such a high octane life.
Yeah.
That if I waste a day drinking and partying, I lose 4 days. 4 days.
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, or else I'm not 100%. Like for me, like I operate at such a level, and I expect so much from myself that it takes me 4 days to get back there mentally.
Well-oiled machine.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh, wow.
Sort of.
No, you said the same thing about me though. I didn't really see it. I saw it, I feel
Yeah.
it, but like not as much as you see it because
yeah,
from the outside.
Well, you know
looking in.
you know what it is too is I kind of had this realization probably in the last 6-8 months where I always used to think it's like I'll go party and I'll lose a day and then I'll be back to normal. But I started realizing that I'm not, and it's when I became more in tune with myself. I started learning more about how my mind works and some of the things that I do that I look at from inside instead of outside. And when, like you said, when you take that step back and see it, you go, oh my God, like I'm 4 days till I'm 100%
like
again.
you may have at one point been like, yeah, I'll bounce back in one day.
When
All I know about you is though, when we hang out with you and you go fucking balls to the walls.
Yeah.
You don't talk
The next day
at all. Like I'm not like exaggerating. Like, oh, like he probably talks a little bit, Mike. Like no. This motherfucker lays on the couch.
I grunt.
Jonathan, you want something from Wendy's? That's it. And like and your whole day, and then you move around, take a sip of something, and so you get up. You're like, oh fuck, he's alive, and you're like,
Yeah.
you're back to bed. Like I don't understand. So definitely you.
Like the old vampire and what we do in the shadows.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what? It's just because when I party too, it's we punish our bodies. It's like not even healthy. Like punish.
It's like we go out to fucking destroy ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time it's a mission.
And as you get older too, it's like anything you put in your body's got a bit of a break point for how it manages it. And as you get older, it has less tolerance to it, so it takes longer for you. That's why people like that are allergic to something like gluten and they develop a further allergy. It's because their body's only got such a small threshold, and once they break it, it gets worse and worse and worse. And alcohol and partying are the exact same thing. You know, when you're young, you don't even get a hangover. People are like, I love when kids are like, oh, I don't even get hangovers, old man. I'm like, I was 20 as well. I know you don't get hangovers right now.
But it's gonna, hearing that from people.
But it's gonna
you're gonna be old soon too, Michael, and you're gonna see what happens. I'm like,
you're gonna feel like you get hit by a dump truck.
I don't want to ever say that to a kid.
No, I don't.
That's when I know I'm too old. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? The way these kids dress these days, I am so irrelevant. I have no idea what's going on. There are people like, you know what's amazing to me right now is that people that are social media stars to people 25 and under are bigger and are more relevant characters in their lives than like Hollywood actors and shit. Like have more followers on these social platforms, get more engagement. It's like being a social influencer is now like the tits to anybody growing up. That is like the dream. It fucking blows my mind. Anyway, off topic.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. It's just kind of crazy.
No, I know, I get you.
But anyway, sorry. Yeah, sorry. As we were saying, like with the fitness stuff, it's like I think one of the big things is people. I think the biggest thing for me is that people think their end goal is too far away. They don't understand, or they can't appreciate that marginal improvements are such an important thing. There's this thing called the aggregation of marginal gains. It was something that a guy. Who is right? Mind
fucking
blown. He was I don't remember the name of the team. It's the professional bike racing team in France.
Oh, I was gonna go with
England. Sorry,
Bandits.
I'm sorry. It was a professional bike racing captain or coach rather for England.
Yeah.
And this was years ago, like a decade ago. He did this thing where he started making marginal improvements in every aspect of their lives. I'm not talking about just with training, but like fluffier pillows. one more, like it's all 1% marginal gain, so 1% improvement in everything. They'd stay in a little nicer hotel. Their meals would be a little healthier. They'd get a little more sleep. All of these things, and what happens over time is it's an exponential curve. It's almost like hockey stick growth. So it's such small improvements. Then all of these things over time make a huge difference. And I think people need to see their health and fitness that way too. If you start adding in the right things, if you start eating one healthy meal a day, fuck whatever you eat right now, eat whatever you want, but throw in one healthy meal. Throw in an extra 5 to 10 minute walk, like you said, because what's going to happen through that same concept, aggregation of marginal gains, you will start walking 20 minutes. And then you'll start eating 2 healthy meals a day. And what's going to happen is your calories will stay.
It's a hard way to start, though.
That's the best way to start.
I understand what you're saying. It's a harder way to think you're actually making a difference. If you
I realize, but the thing is, I know what you're
saying.
No,
I agree, though.
But the thing is, for people, if you flip your whole life over all at once, and I'm going to train 5 days a week, and I'm going to eat healthy.
This is what people do.
Yeah, but then you fail. Look, humans are
old Monday diet. Starting Monday.
I know, but the problem is, like, humans are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
You've got these hardened habits that are 26 years old at this point, and mine are 32. So you have to, if you want to change a habit, you have to introduce it like a habit. You slowly start adding these things in and change them. Then it becomes hardened and lasts for a very long time or forever. And that's how I think a lot of people should start looking at their health and fitness. If you are looking at the long-term goal as something that's too big, wrap your head around making marginal improvements. Go for the walk, eat that healthy meal, and then you will make that change over time. And it's not so dramatic, but then you get long-term changes. People are like, I lost 5 pounds in a week. I'm like, probably A, it was water weight, B, I don't believe you, or C, you're going to fuck shit up in like 2 weeks and gain 10. A pound a week, 2 pounds a week. That's all it takes.
That's the difference, though. I think people see a 30 pound weight loss they have to have. Instead of looking at trying to like be excited for the 30 pound weight loss, look for the week from now, losing that pound. It's kind of like golfing. It's like you're putting. Cool. I'm not going to try and aim right at the hole. I'm going to aim a couple feet ahead of me. And then as soon as I get that, the ball's going to keep rolling to the hole. It's just you have to kind of find your small wins.
Set small markers. I think that's key. I think that's a good point. It's like when you're driving somewhere, like you're driving to New York to LA or I don't know, across the street. Probably not across the street because you could see that destination. Maybe like to the restaurant, whatever it is. So you're driving across the street, sweet.
Yeah.
You know where you're going, but you can only see as far ahead of you as, depending on sunlight, whatever, maybe a mile or two. That's it. But you still continue to make that trip so that you finally get there. It's the same thing. Yeah. I just think, the biggest excuse I think a lot of people make is the change that it's going to take and how far they got to go to get where they want to be. Start making the improvements. Start adding the right things into your life. Yeah. You will pick up momentum and you will get to where you want to be, if not better.
Yeah.
No more excuses.
Yeah.
It's a life less excuses, bitches.
I mean, I got lots of them. So it's hard. Like I go back and forth. I mean, it's a daily struggle. I mean, you can't just be like perfect. Now that I know what to do, it's not like just because I know what to do doesn't mean I'm always going to put it into practice. So it's like, it's just when I have that cheeseburger and I'm like, you know what? That's just my hands.
Well, this is why I think it's important.
Sometimes you just need to have that cheat day.
You should still be able to. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I think people need to realize that's okay too.
Yeah.
If you fuck shit up for a whole week, if you go to Cancun, you're like, I'm going to get fucked up.
I think that's
go get fucked up. But when you come back, get back to these things.
I think that's the hardest part, though, for most people. I feel like everyone has tried the diet. Everyone's tried. A lot of people have probably tried slow, fast, or whatever. But I think that's the big game changer is when people have they cheat by accident, or they cheat like they didn't want to and they did it. I think it's the hardest part. I think is people getting back into it and saying, like you never really left. You're allowed to slip up and just keep going because it's just demotivating and people have a hard time getting back into it. I'm a prime example. That's like one of my biggest hurdles is getting back into it after like, I was doing so good. Now I just ate 43 pizzas.
Nice.
Like honestly, I
set a world record, by the way.
No, but like remember that day I came by and I had literally gone to 2 different pizza places.
Yeah, and you came by and you're like, I forgot I bought a pizza, so I brought you some pizza.
Ordered more pizza. I'm
what the fuck's wrong with you?
Fuck.
You got bigger problems with your health and fitness.
Oh, dude, it's like all or nothing for me.
You know what, though? This is the thing that I talked about a little bit last week. I fail a lot, and I like failure because it teaches me how to get better. Look at this the same way. Every time you eat like shit or waste a week or do whatever, don't go to the gym, see it as a small failure if you need to, and then take that, learn from it, get better.
Yeah.
If people want to get there and they want to do these things, there's a lot less bullshit people can be feeding themselves.
Yeah, that's not good for your diet.
It's hard to come by too, honestly.
Not good for your macros. Fuck. God, why is that a bull across the street? Is he pooping? Jonathan Baggett. Baggett. No, yeah, but it's fuck, man. So subjective. Everyone has different like mental blocks about working out or diet or you know what I mean or what their goals are. So it's really everyone's a little different. So it's kind of thing you just have to take it in strides. Like you have to. I mean, you're not gonna be perfect right away. Like everyone
Perfection's not a fucking thing.
No, but the thing is, it's yeah, exactly. It's true. It's
moving target.
It's learning how to like. We all struggle with the exact same. Even people that are really, I know, been working out for a long time. They still make the same mistakes. People are just starting to work out. It's about how they recover,
of course,
from the mistakes they make. It's not. It's not about whether or not they're going to make them. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, absolutely. All right. Well, I think. You got anything else in your mind?
Oh, the Super Bowl. Yo, what are you thinking? What do you think? I wanted the Vikings, but they're not fucking there anymore because their defense decided to quit the day of their last game.
They got so fucking smashed by Philly. Honestly, I don't really have a horse in the race. I don't care enough. I would like to see Brady win again just because I love a dynasty. I want
to see the fucking Eagles put them down because sometimes you just need to see them sit the fuck down.
I just think that I don't care about anybody on Philly, and I actually don't care much about anybody on the other team. I just find it interesting to live through and watch a dynasty.
He doesn't care about any of you.
I don't care about any of you. It's a real thing.
That's okay.
I just find it like anytime you see someone that wins that much, what's interesting is it's not just like
it's kind of fucking cool.
Well, when you get
setting records.
Yeah, well, you get a guy that like football is such a competitive sport, and the longevity for players, it's like the average is like 3-4 years if you play in the NFL. This guy's been in the NFL for so long and been winning for so long. He's just got so many great life habits that he can't be beaten. Like I find it phenomenal. Obviously, coaches that goes a long way too, but I mean, and the right team. But I mean,
did you hear they butt heads, eh?
They do.
Harbaugh and fucking Tom Brady. They hate butt heads.
Harbaugh's not the coach.
Sorry. What's his fucking name?
Keep guessing.
Bareback Bandit.
Nice.
Fuck.
So
no, that's Jim Harbaugh is for the Ravens, yeah?
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens?
There was there's two Harbaughs. One of them was with the 49ers, then he moved. He's getting paid like $8 to $10 million a year to coach a fucking college team now.
Ah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's big sports down there.
I don't know much about football, but I know lots about drinking. That is what my Super Bowl is about, actually, ladies and gentlemen.
Sweet.
All right. It's been nice chatting with you. I am not wearing any of your clothes again. This time I'm pretty good. Do not look at my belt.
Could be the belt. And
I don't have it. No, these are your fucking socks, man.
Those could be my socks.
Next week I will show up wearing all of Jonathan's clothes, including his underwear.
That's probably true.
And then put them back into his clean pile.
That's gross. Fuck, I hate you.
I farted a record 37 times during this podcast.
I gotta go.
All right.
All right.
Deuces.